Three, two, one. Hey, y'all. Welcome back. We are back with another episode. Hopefully, you'll get two this week for the price of one listen. Um, Shout out, Andrew. Please get these episodes out this week. Thank you. Uh, but in all seriousness, Kevin wrote this week's episode because work has been crazy busy. I'm going on paternity leave at the end of this week, so a lot going on. I also had the stomach bug. So to captivate all that together, wasn't a good week for me. There was no way I was going to write this episode. So, Kevin, thank you for doing this. I appreciate
Of
you taking the
course.
time.
Of course. We gotta support each other in the times of need. Hopefully, everyone enjoys this episode.
It looks like a fun one. I'm excited for this. This is going to be some fun shit.
Absolutely. So, shall we go ahead and get it started?
Yeah. Well, all right. So you got a sphere on, but who you got?
Yes. So this jersey that I'm wearing, it's a repeat jersey, but it is of Jalen Brunson, the
Okay.
I don't know whatever the hell they call him now, association icon, whatever. I don't have a white Knicks jersey, so that's why I bought it. And it has the Knicks sphere sponsor patch, as you guys know. Through if you follow the podcast, I am a sucker for a fun sponsor patch. So we got this one. This was acquired at We Out Here MSG2. That is available for you guys to check out on the YouTube page. So yeah, I was gonna try and get a different player, but honestly, Brunson is just killing it right now, and I just feel like I'm gonna support this guy until the wheels fall off. So
Yeah, you got to support him. He's carrying the Knicks. What, they're
literally
fourth or fifth seed in the East right now?
holding the fourth seed strong, trying to make their way to the third. I don't know if it's gonna happen, but honestly, I'm just loving the play of Jalen Brunson. He's like the heart and soul of our team right now, and excited to see what he continues to do for us. But enough about my jersey. Sir, I see a USA basketball jersey on. I want to guess that it's like either Michael Jordan or Larry Bird, but I'd rather you just tell us.
Well, it's the greatest player to ever play this game. Number 9 from
Very
Team
nice.
USA, Dream Team, Michael Jordan. This is my second jersey from the Andrew gift.
Oh, fire.
So,
A gift that I still have yet to receive any of them. So, Andrew, when you're
yeah,
editing this one, can you at least also send my gift in the mail? And
Andrew,
if I
we
get it,
know it was St. Patty's Day weekend, which in college goes from like Thursday until Monday, and we know you were inebriated or whatnot, which is fine. But get this shit out, brah.
please, because number
And I
one,
say that with all we say that with all the love in the world for you, because I know you got a busy schedule and all that shit. But
for
that's
real.
all. Yes,
Also, I just really want to know what my gifts are. I'm like dying to figure it out what
dude,
they are.
you are going to flip your shit.
Oh my god.
I
See,
know what they are.
uh-huh.
I'm actually part of me is mad at Andrew for one of them because I told him I was like, I would have taken that for sure. But you are going to be unreal excited and happy.
I will make sure I record myself the minute I get them. I'll put it on the Instagram reel and
There'll
tag
be
everybody.
tears.
Oh man.
I think
Man,
that's
if there'll be tears of joy or sadness or excitement, I don't even know, but
definitely excitement and joy. I don't think there's going to be any sadness with these.
okay, cool. I'm excited. I just would really love to just the anticipation is literally killing me. I've honestly, ever since we recorded last week's episode, I've been waiting patiently each day, and I ask, my parents since they're home right now. I'm like, hey, did you get did a package come for me? They're like, no, no packages came. I'm like, okay. Hey, did a package come for me? No,
They're
nothing.
like, Kevin, can you just stop asking about packages?
Yeah, and I'm like, all right, well, and
Fine.
I remember you said it would be great if I could open the package right on the podcast. Just like, oh, that would be perfect timing though. It'll be here. I'll open it Wednesday, and it's not here. Breaking my heart out here.
I
Break
know.
my heart, Andrew.
I know. We can keep giving him a hard time, but it'll get here. We know it. You know, it does. It's one of those things. But let's keep talking about this. Kevin, I want you to talk about this because this dunk was fucking unreal.
Yeah. So it's
It
Wednesday,
made this
March
play, made
20th.
John Collins leave the game.
It gave the poor guy a concussion.
He got
And
hit in the head with some balls,
yeah. So
literally.
if you guys don't know what we're talking about the infamous Anthony Edwards dunk that he did on John Collins. What was that, Monday
Oh my God,
or
Monday or
Sunday?
yeah.
One of the two. It was this week, but my goodness, the elevation Anthony Edwards had on that dunk. You almost didn't think he actually dunked it. You almost thought that he threw it in. But man, Anthony Edwards, I'm telling you right now, this guy is special. I'm excited to see how he continues to develop. I don't know. Can he make Minnesota a perennial team, or is he gonna have to go elsewhere? It remains to be seen. But Anthony Edwards, he is a special one, y'all. Your thoughts, Merritt?
Um, it's ridiculous. Like I love the simple fact that he came out and said he's not even act as good as he should be. There was a quote from one of his interviews saying he's at maybe five. Rate him out of 10, 10 being the best. He goes five. There's so many more things um that he can do that he will be able to do better. So that's phenomenal. But that dunk, I think the angle that I sent to you and Andrew of it from the sideline, from the back angle, it just makes it even look worse
Oh yeah.
than what it was. Because you see John Collins turn and he goes, "Oh shit!" No, just ducks. He doesn't even try to go up because he knew he was done. Now, I want to throw this question because I saw it on Instagram earlier. Who is a better dunker, Anthony Edwards or premier in his prime, healthy Blake Griffin?
I did see this. Wow.
It's tough, isn't it? Because Anthony
Ugh.
Edwards throws it down with so much force, but Blake, you knew every time he got the ball, all he was going to do was dunk over you, and you weren't going to stop it.
Yeah, so like Blake, when he came into the league, he was just known as that vicious dunker. He's had some posters that are just forever ingrained in our minds with Lob City. Oh man. It's a toss up. I think what makes it more impressive for Anthony Edwards is that he's not just a dunker, he's a
Yeah,
scorer. But Blake Griffin, we all knew that if anybody threw the ball up in the air, that guy he's gonna catch it, and you better stay the hell out of the way, or else you're gonna be end up on a poster.
no, I agree.
Yeah, but it's close. If I were to give it to one, just impressive right now, I'll give it to Edwards by a smidge, but Blake Griffin, like there would if he never got injured, who knows
Well,
what
he
Blake
when he
Griffin.
was on the Celtics last year, he played, but he didn't really dunk much. But then all of a sudden, he had one or two games where he had wide open dunks, and he's not going to dunk in traffic at this point in his career, and
Yeah,
now most likely retired. Um, but he went up for a couple of great dunks, and you're going, dude still has bounce. And like you said, if he never gets injured, he doesn't tear his ACL, doesn't get hurt, we see probably one of the best. He already is known as one of the best dunkers ever, but could potentially have been,
one of the better power forwards to play.
yeah, in a smaller version of a power forward because he is a large human being, but for power forward and what we think of it, he wasn't. He was a small forward size.
Mm-hmm.
So, granted, I'm going to give like you, Anthony Edwards, just that little bit over Blake. It's like literally 50.1 to 49.9.
Yeah,
Truly, it's either or could win on a day to day basis. But
Oh yeah.
that's that dunk. If you haven't seen it, please
Google
go
it.
watch it. Just even if you're not a basketball fan, just watch it for the impressiveness of how high this guy got in the air.
Oh yeah.
Because John Collins is like six
6'9".
eleven.
No, he's only 6'9". He's not that
Really?
tall.
I
Yeah.
thought he was taller. But like,
Actually, John Collins, if I remember, he's either like six. Yeah, he might be more like 6'7".
no way. I can't believe that. Oh God, the first thing you look at is when you type in John Collins into
6'9".
Google
6'9".
is the dunk of the year gives John Collins a head injury. That's literally all you see.
Yeah, yeah, that sucks.
So,
So I was right, 6'9".
okay. So he's 6'9". Anthony Edwards is what, 6'4", 6'5"?
Yeah.
So John Collins already has 4 to 5 inches on him.
Yeah. 6'4" to confirm. Yep.
So then you add in the length of John Collins' arms, which we all know is massive.
Mm-hmm.
Anthony Edwards if has to go over that. Now, John did not jump or try to defend himself, but he got up. Like I said, John Collins got hit in the face with balls. He did. He got concussed by Anthony Edwards' balls. Truly.
That sucks.
That's just not a fun position to be in if and for anybody. So hats off to Anthony Edwards. Keep dunking on fools. It's awesome to watch. We all love it. Um, so yeah, there's that.
Mm-hmm.
And free agency carousel continues
Oh my.
into week 2.
Yes. Can we just say,
Holy shit.
yeah, shout out to my Steelers for literally getting a first round quarterback for chump change. The worst we may be giving up for him is a fourth round pick, and that's if he plays 51% of next season. But from what I understand, the plan, if you guys don't know, Justin Fields, quarterback of the Bears. The Bears have the number one pick uh overall in the NFL draft this April. And in order to make room for who they're probably going to expect to draft, Caleb Williams, they traded away their number one overall draft pick. And
From
just
3 years ago.
yeah, it's crazy. But I'm excited as a Steeler fan. This is the type of thing that the Steelers need. Uh, we need some dynamic playmaking with either him, with Russ, or Justin Fields. This is something that we haven't had in a long time. We've been used to Big Ben, 6'4" or 6'5", stumbling and bumbling around as a big guy, making throws. Now to have Mike Tomlin have two, I would say, dynamic quarterbacks that can run with the ball,
Yeah.
throw. Well, obviously, if they're healthy, this is something that we as Steelers fans haven't had. And if as a Steelers fan, if I'm honest, the offense for the Steelers the last at least 2-3 years have been quite vanilla. So the hope would be with these two additions, whoever's going to be quarterback. We lost Deontay Johnson, but George Pickens is a star now. Maybe we can be a little bit more dynamic. So kudos to the Steelers there. The New York Jets making some moves, signing Chargers recently released wide receiver Mike Williams and Cowboys offensive tackle, if I remember, offensive tackle
Yes.
Tyson Smith, which is huge because that means Aaron Rodgers will not get killed if he's able to last more than 4 plays this upcoming season. So big ups to the Jets for doing some things. I know they're gonna tweak the roster up a little bit to, improve after last year. Um, but yeah, we'll see what happens. Do you have any thoughts on those moves, Merritt?
Unfreaking real. I think the
Mm-hmm.
Mike Williams deal is overpaying for 1 year for 15 mil. But you definitely shored up your offensive line. I don't remember what position Tyron Smith, I think he's a guard. Um, or is he a tackle?
I thought Tyson Smith was a tackle, but let's double check that.
But Mike Williams, I thought he would have gone somewhere else. I was really hoping the Patriots would make a play since they have a shitload of money still to spend and they haven't done shit. Um,
Mhm.
but hey, I'm not in the office to tell them what to do. But overpay for sure. I think with Mike Williams, especially for a 1 year deal. Um, but good moves by the Jets. Do I think it helps them in any capacity? Not really. It's still the Jets. Apparently, they can't trade Zach Wilson for even a seventh round draft pick. No one wants to touch him.
But he wants him.
So they're stuck with him again, or they release him and have to go find someone like Trevor Simeon to back up Aaron Rodgers again.
There you
Um,
go. Also, Tyron Smith. I apologize, not Tyson. Tyron Smith. He is an left tackle.
okay. Ooh, so blindside, perfect.
Yep, to protect Aaron Rodgers so he doesn't die, which is what he needs.
That's good. That's good. I'll take that. Um, yeah, good for the Jets. Jerry Judy gets an extension from the Browns, 3 year extension. I don't remember what it's worth. I think it was pretty decent money. Um, but
But
great.
that last bullet is a even bigger.
We will talk
Uh,
about that because I'm pissed. I think anyone in the NFL world that did not try to get this guy should be pissed at their team.
yeah, I mean, fourth round pick. I think that's like that's a slap in the face for
So
someone like Keenan Allen.
I was gonna say, if you guys don't know who we're talking about, it's Keenan Allen. Potentially at this time, I don't know any other Charger receiver that's better than him.
He was the
Potentially was the best receiver for the Chargers for the past, I don't even know how many years. It seems like forever. He's like one of those guys that seems like plays in a league or a sport for ever and you just kind of go with the flow. Um, but the Chargers traded him to the Bears for a fourth round draft pick. The Bears went from a laughing stock to now having DJ Moore, Keenan Allen, DeAndre Swift, more than likely Caleb Williams, and they have two decent tight ends.
absolutely unreal.
Like,
Unreal. I just want to know what's going on with the Chargers. You have Austin Eckler leaving.
oh, they
You
have so much shit going
Keenan
on.
Allen gone. Like, are they just really gonna throw away the development of Justin Herbert like this? I think it's crazy.
Well, they're 25, I think it was like $40 million or something over the cap. So they had to get rid of a bunch of stuff. And they said Keenan Allen, after the year he had, he wasn't taking a pay cut. He's like, hell no, I'm not taking any pay cut from you guys. I deserve what the money I get, which good for him, he does. He's a perennial player. But a fourth round draft pick, as a Steeler fan, as a Patriot fan, as any fan of any other fan base besides the Bears, and the Chargers should be really pissed and crying at this point. But like everyone else should be mad at their team for not even exploring to give up a third round draft pick or even a fourth and a third the following year for this guy.
No,
Like he is phenomenal. Now his cap hit is huge. I think it's like 36 mil is what he's making. So it's a lot of money. So unless your team is okay with spending that for 1 year, then I can understand it. And if he doesn't want to restructure and stay for more years, I get it. But like to the Bears, who were god awful last year, who probably won't be amazing this year, but potentially fun to watch, this is huge for them. This is I might watch the Bears more than I watch the Patriots.
yeah, it's crazy.
It's sad. It's sad. Um, ACC and Clemson going to court.
Yes, they are.
It's so dumb.
Yes, Clemson pretty much filed a lawsuit against the ACC on Tuesday that pretends to its exit from the league, saying that the withdrawal penalty is unconscionable and unenforceable. So that has to do with what I believe is called their grant of rights and exit fees,
Mm-hmm.
which that's like I guess they're mad that it's just something that they can't. Is I guess it's not enough that like you can't pay that fee. That's what I pretty much got from.
It's asinine money, I think, from what I've read, because other schools like FSU were looking to leave, but they would have to pay. I think it's like
I
it,
think it's like 570 million. Is
yeah,
that
I was
what?
gonna say it's I thought it was close to 200, 250, but the exit
That's
fee,
ridiculous.
it's just stupid. Like no school is gonna pay that because you're gonna bankrupt your school
Yeah.
tenfold. Like, what are you trying to do here? So good for Clemson to do this, set a precedent on suing for their rights, for the school, the university's rights. Now, at the backhand of this is all driven by college football. Do do we all believe that they should be able to leave and go to wherever the heck they want, which gives them bigger money that go to the Big Ten or the SEC, which they probably go to the SEC? No, because you ruin a lot of things with rivalries. You ruin a lot of those types of things. But uh, gone are the days of, you know, sport rivalries and continued, you know, passion for those things at this point. So,
Yeah. I agree. I mean, if I'm reading this, a lot of this is come. So FSU was the first school to sue the ACC. Then Clemson is now the second.
mhm.
Um, and let's see. So so basically that the school is seeking higher income level, which they want to get from another conference, claiming that their grant of rights is incorrect. And then let's see. Pretty much saying the fees in order to get release is just not attainable due to what the amount of money that they make. Because it says so in the SEC, uh, they would make about let's see, generate 852 million in the SEC, and they take 741 million that distribute to all its schools, averaging out to 51.3 million dollars per school after bowl expenses. So the in which the ACC only gets about 30 million after all that all that stuff when the revenue split. So
Wow,
that's kind of crazy that SEC makes that much money each school.
it's crazy,
So,
crazy.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't even know at this point. They're just letting college football run it all, and like Chip Kelly said, it's ruining all the other sports that some people love to watch, some people have a passion for. You're ruining a lot of other things. So,
Mhm.
um, sadly, it'll never change. But
Yes.
transfer portal, holy mother of God, this thing has already gone crazy. I don't even pay attention at this point because it's so early. Um,
Yeah, so the transfer portal just opened yesterday,
yes, yeah, I was gonna say yesterday.
and the first person that put his name in, Andre Stojakovic.
Oh
Uh,
yeah, that name should sound familiar.
that should sound very familiar. Well, reason being, which honestly is understandable. He's looking for a different tool, mainly because the coach that he was playing for just recently got let go at Stanford.
I was gonna
So,
say he was at Stanford, right?
yep. So, I mean, talk about a guy that's going to draw a hell of a lot of interest. You got a father who's a perennial, NBA All Star. You know, I mean, it's he's gonna he's gonna get his money or deal somewhere. And I think somebody was coming into your room.
No, I have the window open and it's windy here, so I thought that before, and I was like, I'm the only one in this house.
That would be extremely
I would
crazy.
be so scared. You could all potentially see me get murdered.
Oh my god, that'd be nuts. You get murdered by Toby the Ghost.
Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. Now I'm not gonna be able to sleep tonight. Freaking,
Love it.
what a great co-host you are. Wow. Um, I want to talk about this though because this was brought up by a lot of sports channels and stuff where the teams left out of the tournament that's coming up literally in a day.
Yes.
Um, Notables, St. John's, who at the end of the year went on an 8 or 9 game win streak, was averaging 80 to 90 points per game, played phenomenal basketball.
Had one of
After,
the higher rated nets.
yeah, you had Pitt, who we all hate, you and I hate, but they had a great year. They pushed UNC to the brink in the semifinal game of the
Yep.
ACC tournament. Then you had Oklahoma get removed somehow, and they finished, I think, third or fourth, tied for third or fourth in the Big 12
Which is the probably the number one basketball conference
at this time.
this time, yeah.
Plus, in my opinion, Indiana State should have gotten at least a play-in game because we all are now missing out on watching Kareem Abdul-Jabbar play. And that's just
I
a
know.
national
Are
treasure
they
that
in
we
the
don't.
NIT? Did they
Yes,
make
they got to the NIT. I did send you the video of the manager Olympics because they only have one manager due to their strict rules. So they had all the managers do an Olympic run on the basketball court doing different things, and whoever got the best time got to go.
Oh my
You
gosh.
have to watch it. It's hysterical. You
You
have
don't
not watched
you
this
send it
video.
to me in the Instagram?
Yeah, I think I sent it to the group,
All right, I gotta take a look at it at some point.
but it is hysterical. And the worst part is you look at a team last night who played in Virginia, who has won a title in the past 10 years,
Yep.
but has lost every game they've played the past 4 or 5 tournaments. They haven't made it past the first round. They lost to a 16, they lost to a 15.
Well,
They
also remember, so that year they lost as a one. They're the first team to ever also win the title the next year.
true, but losing continuously and not playing good basketball.
Well, and I was honestly just shocked the way they just got their asses handed to them yesterday. I was watching portions of the game before I went to bed. I was like, damn, like down by 20 already?
They said in
But
live time they didn't score for 48 minutes.
that's crazy. That's a whole game.
They didn't score anything from the 950 mark when they had 16 points to the 16 something mark in the second half. That's atrocious.
That is actually terrible.
Like, I don't care who you are. You need to be, no offense, you need to be fired. If you can't figure out how to run an offense with some of the, one of the best quoted college programs in the country.
Well, also, if I remember Virginia's offense, which I'm pretty sure it's still the same, do they still run that super slow offense?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, no offense to them, but like, my God, you know,
Change it up.
a different game. Or if you have different players, I think you got to adapt to your players that you have.
Oh, I
But,
agree. You know,
but to each its own. Shout out to Virginia. They're already eliminated.
it's all right.
But a lot of these teams, I think Merritt was getting to, St. John's and Pitt and Oklahoma declined their invitations for postseason opportunities. They got a lot of backlash for it. You know, I will say for someone like Rick Pitino's instance and St. John's, 90% of the team was not coming back next year.
Mm-hmm.
So I can understand it. They want to look towards just getting ready for the next year, obviously because the transfer portal is open. You want to focus on recruiting and get a little bit more of a head start, in which this is probably for another podcast, but, you know, for definitely, I don't think the transfer portal should be open right now. I think that's crazy because now you're trying to focus on if you're a coach, you're trying to focus getting your team ready for these games and then also worry about your players going to leave in the middle of a tourney. Can you imagine? Like, that's out of control. But yeah, what are your thoughts on them not being a part of the postseason?
think it's a horrible call by the committee. Then they keep talking about how they potentially want to expand it to what? What are you doing? Now you're muted on your end. Now you just screwed your volume. Nope. No.
Now,
Yeah.
not touching anything
Don't
anymore.
touch anything. Why do you
Thank
touch
God.
things?
No, because you all of a sudden went completely mute. And that's why
Oh.
I thought it was because of my headphones.
Oh,
So
interesting.
that's why I had to fix everything.
Oh, okay. We won't blame you then. We'll blame the technology. Um, but I do agree. It is pretty bad by the committee because they want to say expand this to 72 teams,
Hell
whatever.
no.
You just made the realization on why you don't touch this shit.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're going to give us crap teams. You're going to let all, and Tom Izzo came out with quote. He's like, we shouldn't always let certain teams in. Mid majors all the time. He goes, it's fun to watch, but what does it do to the team, the quality of the tournament? Now, I could be coming out of context because I read it quick. I could be reading it wrong, but I kind of agree. There are great mid-major teams, and we've seen these mid-major teams make great runs. FAU last year is a mid-major who made
Crushed it.
it all the way to the Final Four. Who was the year before? I can't remember. They were from Jersey.
Nobody from St.
Yes,
Peter's. St.
St. Peter's.
Peter's.
Thank you.
St. Peter's.
And Princeton both crushed it.
Oh yeah, last year Princeton made it to around Sweet 16, almost made it to Elite Eight.
They both in 2 years crushed it as lower level schools, not known for basketball, not good at basketball for years, crushed it. Those are fun to watch. What do the majority of the basketball fans in college basketball want to watch? They want to watch the great programs that we all know have great games. I love watching the upsets because I throw them on my bracket all the time. But
Oh, we all do.
I also think Tom Izzo's right. And if we expand this, you're going to add more mid majors potentially, and that could dwindle down the effect of what this tournament is all about at the end of the
Well,
day.
well, in my opinion, if you start adding more and more teams, not just like the quality of basketball get worse. Now you're just kind of just it's not the best of the best. Like the
Yeah,
NCAA tournament is supposed to be the best of the best. Now you're just letting everybody in the tournament, so it doesn't even matter. So that just diminishes like the tradition, and you know I'm forgetting the word, but it doesn't help. Keep it the way it is. Don't fuck it up. Don't add any more teams. 68, I think, is a sweet spot number. The first four games are a lot of fun to
yep.
get everybody as a nice little warm up for Thursday. Just just stop. And then, that's why we have things like the NIT and the CBI. So if you want postseason play that bad, you still can get it.
But you know what? I will add to what you said before with St. John's, Pitt, and Oklahoma saying, "Hey, you know what? We're not going to go to any of the other tournaments." Good for them. Good for them. I think that's phenomenal. I know Huggins did it a couple of years ago when we did just barely miss the NCAA,
Mm-hmm.
and they're like, "Oh, come to the NIT," and they're like, "We don't play to go to the NIT or the CBI. We
Mm-hmm.
play to get to the NCAA. No matter what our number is, we play to get to that level."
Yep.
Because let's be honest, the NIT used to be the big tournament years and years ago. It's now the secondary tournament. The CBI is the
Nobody gives a shit.
tertiary tournament where no one gives a shit. No one gives a shit about the NIT either.
Only
Like,
until the end when they play in the Garden.
right. That's the coolest part, but that's it. But
Yep.
up till then, no one cares. No one even knows who's in it.
It's a fact. You know what? I found out today that Princeton is in it, and they're
Wow.
at home in Princeton playing against UNLV.
Wow.
Yeah.
When do they play?
8 o'clock is their tip off.
Oh, I would have gone to that game. Shit, that'd been fun.
I know, but apparently it's hard to get tickets.
Yeah, well, Princeton
Another
doesn't.
and more reason why nobody gives a shit about the NIT.
Also, Princeton is this big with a basketball gym that's probably this big.
Well, hey, I've seen what the Princeton basketball gym looks like.
I know,
It
but
is
it's
definitely it's let's just say this: if you're a high mid major team, you probably have played in bigger rec centers.
I was gonna say high school gyms, but okay, you'll okay, rec centers. Oh shit. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, at the same time, so we can beat this with a dead horse, but we don't need to. Y'all know
Yes.
our stands on this, so
Mm-hmm.
let's jump to WU. No news is good news for the football program, though they did announce the players that are going to the Big 12 Pro Day.
Oh, are they starting that with
The
like the
big
conference?
Yeah, so they're doing a conference one. It looks
Oh,
like
that's cool.
instead of each school being individual. So
I
they
like that a lot better, honestly.
so they go from I think it's the 27th through the 31st, I think, or something. I think March has 31. Yeah, 31 days of March. So they go through those 4 or 5 days. It is going to be held in Frisco. Um, so we will be seeing Beanie Bishop, Devin Carter, Marcus Floyd, Zach Frazier, Devon Hawkins, Lee Copa, Noah Massey, Doug Nestor, and Malachi Ruffin, all participating. Um, Out of those, more than likely, the only ones that I could see potentially getting drafted are, of course, our man Zach Frazier in that offensive line,
Mm-hmm.
maybe Doug Nestor, and Beanie Bishop. The rest will potentially join a team in free agents as a free agency signing, or go play in the CFL. So either way,
Or even the
arena.
UFL.
Oh, UFL. Yep, that starts up in a week.
Yes, it's coming up. Yeah, it's coming up soon.
I have no idea. I haven't paid attention. But good for those guys. I really hope that they do well and succeed. It's always fun to hear W players making it far. We got some notable ones, but it's always nice to see the younger guys take a swing too.
Absolutely.
Men's basketball. It's done. It's
It's
over.
end of an era, guys.
Yep. There's
It's odd. It's mercilessly over,
but it's odd.
and it definitely is. I think for people like yourself and myself who have literally have gone through this entire journey as West Virginia alumni with this
Fans.
regime.
Yeah.
So this is different. This is very different. I just saw recently on Instagram and Twitter, Jay Kuntz said his goodbye. They relieved him of his duties,
Which is
which shout
so
out to him. He done a hell of a job, you know, handling the NIL portion of recruiting. Kudos to him. He crushed it. Um, which is unfortunate. So, a lot. It's weird, but I think it makes sense if I have to say so.
I
Um,
I agree. It all makes sense to me. We have to start fresh. We have to start new, but we have to sign somebody quick because we have nobody in place to keep our current players who are still here or to bring in.
technically, they all could leave. They have 30 days because there's technically no coach.
They could leave at any time.
Yeah.
They could go for NIL and be able to play quickly because that court case is still sitting there. They can go play whenever they want.
Hmm.
So we'll see what happens. It sucks because I think we all know, you and I know Jay, through being in sport management and classes and all that together. Great guy. He created a great program for them to follow with the transfer portal to help bring in talent that didn't just fit the needs of the team, but also fit the quality of person that they were looking for. I've listened to his whole breakdown of it. It is phenomenal. I gave him a lot of credit for all the work he's done. He's going to be able to take that and go somewhere else.
He's gonna
And
run with it.
he's going to have a phenomenal career. I can't wait to see what he does next with it. I'll definitely follow him throughout that. It's, like I said, phenomenal to watch. Um,
I think, we talked about the coaching search. I believe they set the deadline the final four. to have a coach by then.
Good. So you asked the question in here, who do you think would be the next head coach? So who do you think or who do you want to be our next head coach?
Um, so I've done a lot of reading on this. Um, so I think if so obvious there, there's three guys in contention. Dusty May, coach of FAU, Florida Atlantic. You have, I don't know his name. Let me see. Basketball. Mark Bington
Yep, from JMU.
from JMU. And then what's the other guy? And Darian DeVries from Drake. So, in my opinion, if I were to choose someone, in my opinion, I think Dusty May is going to choose between either Michigan or Ohio State with those
Ohio
jobs.
State is off the board.
Are they?
They hired their interim head coach as the full time.
Okay. All right.
But like
So
you
I'd
said,
say Michigan is another job that's open.
yep,
So I think a lot of people have been leaning towards Mark, whatever what's the last name?
Bington.
Mark Bington from JMU. He won the conference title for JMU. They're in the tournament right now, and a lot of people really enjoy him. Good basketball mind, younger coach, which I think I would really like us to have is a little bit more of a younger coach to take over.
He's 47.
Yeah. So, he's my number one in my opinion. What about you, Merritt?
I I really want Dusty May. I think he'd be a phenomenal pick, but now that Michigan is opened up, it's pretty hard for us to compete with a Michigan program that is a phenomenal basketball program in its own right. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so I think that's where he'll go. Dusty May will probably end up in Michigan. If we land him, holy shit, you better have paid him more money than you pay Neil Brown.
Well, I mean,
You're gonna have to.
with our NIL deals, I mean, like, I would definitely think it's possible to give him what he wants.
Yeah.
Right?
But I think I've been kind of doing a little bit of reading. The other coach that I've heard is Pat Kelsey from Charleston, who's
Okay.
had a pretty good run in his, you know, he's 254 and then 121 for his career. You know, he played for Huggins back when he was at Xavier. He had coaching experience when he worked with at Wake Forest when he coached Chris Paul. So he's only 48. He has some good roots across the country.
North Carolina and I believe
South
South
Carolina.
Carolina as his hotbeds.
Yep, but he
Okay.
has roots in the Midwest. So that's good. Some good solid players come from there. I do. The only thing I get worried about is when we go for somebody, we saw it not work with Neil Brown for 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
Took 5 years for us to get to a point. And I know we're in that time mindset of we need to win now, we need to win quick, we do have to build, but it can't take 5 years for our basketball program to build. We can't let it take that long because we are a storied franchise or college and basketball. Like we have to pay attention to that. Um, so that's the only reason I'm skeptical of Mark Bington. How long would it take? Do we have to sit here for 5 years to make a tournament? That ain't
No.
going to sit well for me. It's not going to sit well for you. It's
Nope.
like we expect you to come in, you get a year. You get 1 year to
Oh
have
yeah.
a crap year. The next year, we expect you to hit our expectations, which is having a winning season, not just in the Big 12, but out of conference,
Mm-hmm.
making the tournament. Even if you lose in the first freaking round, I don't care. You make the tournament, you win.
Oh yeah.
And then the next year, you build off of that. So Can he do that? I don't know. He's had some good runs. He's at Georgia Southern. He was at James Madison.
Yep.
So we'll see. I'm excited to see what they do. I trust Ren Baker and his decision process. So
Yep. And Ren Baker's a basketball guy. So, there's definitely some people that, maybe we don't even know about. I heard rumors around that, he did reach out to a retired coach, who's recently retired to see if he can just have a conversation with him. Um,
if his
but
name is Roy and then last name starts with Williams, I'll be okay with that.
me too. Or even like a guy whose first name Jay, last name Wright. That would be incredible. But,
Or
you
or,
know,
or John and Calipari. No,
John
sorry, not
Cal-
that one. No, no, no.
not that one. He's still coaching.
Yeah, he sucks. Shoot, why did I just for Coach K? I don't remember Coach K's first name.
Oh my gosh. We can only dream. We can only dream.
I can't believe everyone knows him by Coach K, and I can't remember. No one knows his first name. Holy
Yeah.
crap.
But
But yeah, we'll see.
we shall
Um,
definitely see.
Huggins would like to be back on the sidelines, not at WU.
Hell no. If he
Like
wants to go coach a D2 school somewhere else.
you can go coach D1. They're programs that are going to give you the chance. You lost your chances with us,
Yeah. I
and
don't think I would ever want him to coach for us ever again, to be truly honest. And yeah, that's just my thoughts on it. If he does coach again, it's gonna have to be a long, long time from now, and I hope I'm just as gray as he looks like now
and
before he
I and we
again.
all let's not get this wrong, everybody. We love Huggy Bear.
We do.
We love him. He's a phenomenal coach. He's a phenomenal person. He made two errant mistakes right after each other. We've already talked about it. But the biggest thing to me was the final game of the year was at Cincinnati. And guess what color that motherfucker was wearing? He
He
was wearing
was
red.
he was wearing red. Well, at the end of the
I
day,
don't care.
well that well so that one I don't really care about when him wearing red. They were celebrating the
His
team
team,
with
yeah.
Kenyon Martin. So let him wear red. It is what it is. But at the same time, when we're on this topic, like I just thought it just really hard for anybody to really focus on our team when he's just still constantly around.
Yeah.
He was at like a ton of the basketball
He
games
was at
sitting.
every game.
Yeah. He
Every home game, he was there. He went
he
to a
walked
few
he was on senior night with the guys. Like it's
that
just I think it's just if he's still you need to get somebody, which I know Rams probably gonna look at that you're gonna have somebody that's possibly outside of that regime
and you
so
have
you
to.
can start fresh. You
No
have
one no one from Huggins regime will be left over. It'd be great if you can keep Deshaun and Jordan, but if you don't, they go somewhere else. Good for them. Alex Ruff, all those guys. They're all going to get a chance somewhere else. They're all great coaches already in their own right. They're all good assistants, so they'll have an opportunity somewhere else. But I agree. Clean slate. Let's get it over with. Huggins, we wish you the best of luck in your next opportunity. But as the biggest donor at West Virginia said, he ain't coming back.
mm,
And I'm sorry, his money speaks volumes to that school.
oh yes it does. If you saw what he did at that baseball stadium.
Ready? And how much money he's given to the NIL deals.
Hmm.
But let's talk again about the team that actually is doing well. Our women's basketball program.
That's
They are
our
playing
ladies.
on Saturday at
Yep.
5:30. I
Hmm.
am making sure I'm done doing whatever I'm doing at 5:30 to watch the game.
Yes, you're gonna have to keep me updated because I am working that day.
Ugh. Okay.
So
Quarterly updates, I promise.
yes, I'm West Virginia, they're facing a tough team in this Princeton team.
Yeah.
They're solid guard play for the Princeton Tigers. They know how to get after the ball. They're they won the Ivy League. So I think this is like their 11th Ivy League title they recently won. They know how to, rebound the ball. Fundamentals are there, sharp. I think if Dub V can like bring the pressure up and cause some turnovers and turmoil, I think we can beat up on Princeton fairly well.
Well, we
But
do have the best defensive guard in the nation, so
yeah, so I think we have a chance, but I don't want to say never. I think I see it being a very highly contested game.
good. I want that. I want to have a good game. Even if say we don't win, I'll give this season a win.
Oh yeah, I
New
agree.
head coach.
Huge. Especially what happened last year when the coach left right after the tournament game they lost.
That was horrible.
Mm-hmm.
But like phenomenal coach this year. He put a great team together. And a lot, I believe a majority of the girls are coming back. There was only a few that are graduating. So
Yeah, only
good,
three are graduating.
good for us there. Um, so we'll see. I'm excited to see what they do. But I do want to quickly touch on why our coach decided to just put his foot in his mouth on his comments.
Yeah, not a fan
Why?
of that. Never, not a fan of that. You don't ever overlook your opponents.
And you never give newspaper fuel or whatever it is, like the
Bulletin board
clipping.
material.
Thank you. Bulletin board material to a team who doesn't need it.
Yeah, and Iowa is a team that absolutely does not need it, with one of the best players possibly to ever grace us in women's basketball right now.
And men's.
Yeah, Caitlin Clark is the real deal. Um, I would love if W can match up against her to see what we could possibly do. I still think that she's just going to trounce us for 25-30, no matter
Oh,
what we do, even with the pressure that we get from JJ Quinterly. I
yeah.
think she still might trounce us for 30 or 40, 25, maybe the least amount. But again, I don't even want to talk about that until we get through Princeton.
Yeah. We won't talk about that till after the game on Saturday. Um, no matter what, if say W somehow makes it past that game, they're gonna have a really hard trip through that bracket because you have Louisville, you have LSU, you have UCLA. Just in that
Yes.
one division, you
Yeah, it's the
have
hardest bracket.
unreal teams. Unreal.
I will say, though, not trying to push it forward, but if Dub V gets out of this weekend, Merritt, you and I will have to do an emergency podcast. If it happens,
If
we'll
we win
see.
Saturday, okay, yes.
Yeah. Well, no. Well, their first game is Saturday, so then it would be when do they play the second game? Probably
Please hold.
probably have to be like Monday. They don't do back-to-back games, do they? There's always a day.
Um, let me see. I don't
Yes.
care about men's basketball because they suck.
So
Why?
while Merritt is looking that up, I'm looking at some bracket facts. Top three seeds have won 21 of the past 23 men's NCAA tournament titles. Will it happen again? Make sure you guys make your bracket, and we'll get into some brackets being made a little bit later on in the podcast. But right now, Merritt is still looking,
Searching. Oh my God,
and
really?
he's
Wait.
searching.
All right, brackets. Let's just see how the breakdown would be.
Beautiful.
Do. Nope, nope, nope. That's not us. Where's West Virginia? So if we won, it would be on the 25th, which would be Monday.
Oh yeah.
So
So if we beat Princeton Saturday, then they would play Monday. Is
I
that
won't be
right?
around, so we wouldn't be able to do an emergency podcast.
Well, no, well, hold on. Well, because they would play the winner of the Iowa's game Monday. Is that right?
Yeah, so Iowa and West Virginia play on Saturday.
Okay,
And then they play if both win, whoever wins those two games will play on the 25th,
which is
which is
Monday.
Monday. And then
Okay,
if whoever wins that game, they would go play on the 30th of March.
okay. So then we'll only time will tell. We're not gonna rush into the future.
Nope, can't rush into the future, but it'll be great. Let's jump into our March Madness. I know it's taken a while for us to get here, guys. Do apologize. We had a lot of fun stuff to talk about.
Yeah.
But let's talk about the bracket challenge that we have created.
Woo!
Holy mother of God. This came from an idea on Saturday and now has just blown up.
We're trying out here.
This is unreal.
Let's see how many we got. We have 18 people in the group right now.
Wow.
Yes. So, pretty much, Mer, do you just want to tell them how this idea just kind of came about?
I think it was because I was confirming that all my friends were going to be in another bracket challenge that I have, which is just a friendly group one. We have a trophy and stuff that we pass around to whoever wins each year. And I literally was just like, hey, how about Kevin, myself, Andrew, Cyrus, Mark, and Joe Mack? Let's just do the six of us. Who cares? It's not for money. Let's just have whoever gets this, gets the rights. And then it just kind of grew to being like, ooh, what if we got a trophy for the person that passes around? Well, we did that. I'll tell you about that. And you'll see a picture of it probably in a YouTube clipping. But it went from that to being like, how about we get more people? How about we have to get people that are only following the pod and have some type of interaction? Ooh, that's a good idea. How about next year we do a buy-in? And then we get a bigger belt that gets passed around. But then the following years it's no belt. You get the belt that previous person had, and you get money. So yeah, this has gone from something small to something getting bigger, which I would love to see every year grow and grow and grow.
Yes.
I think we could get a bunch more people.
There is still time, people. There is still
I'll
time.
send it to a couple people and be like, yo, you got until tomorrow night.
Well, they better be subscribed to either our podcast on the Instagram or the TikTok so that they follow us.
Yeah.
Because the people that are I'll let you know some of the people that are in our group right now for this Manly Musings bracket challenge because they're gonna be getting the belts to, I'm pretty sure I thought since this is the small belt, we're just gonna let them have that belt. Am I right?
Yeah, they
Yeah,
can.
yeah, they might as well
My
just have
original
it.
thought was that belt would be passed around, but it sounds like we want to get a bigger belt next year.
Well,
So
also, why we don't want to pass around the belt that says 2023.
it
It
doesn't
says
say anything on it.
no, it says 2023 on the belt.
It says 2020. I don't think it does.
No, it says 2023 on the belt.
No,
That's what I thought it said. Oh no, it doesn't. It doesn't say the year, which is good.
I was
But
gonna
if
say it did say the year.
because that's why I was like, we'll let them have the belt. It's the mini belt, and then worst comes to worst, if we decide to do it again, then we can invest in a bigger belt. But so the people that are in this, so Merritt, you'll know some of them. So, for example, from our March Madness episode last year, my cousin Noel is in.
Ooh, okay.
You have obviously Joe Mac. You have let's see. Oh, we have my nephew Bryce, who is a
Oh,
current student at UConn, in which
okay.
my cousin, his dad, was one of our first reviews on the podcast
Oh,
on the Apple.
nice.
You have obviously there's Cyrus. You have from season one
Ooh.
the creator of our logo and my yoga instructor,
Woo!
Melissa, in this one. You have also from a couple weeks back one half of the 12 truck and one third of the Filipino Starbucksters. Joss is in this as well. And you have a couple people from my gym. You have
Oh, nice.
including one of the owners, one of the girls that run the front desk. Shout out to Corey and Gab, and a couple of the people that work out at our 5 a.m. class that follow along. So I think so. Oh yes, and I cannot forget her. 3-time appearance on the We Out Here series. My friend Michelle, she's in this one as well. So we have quite the group here, and I'm excited to see what everyone's bracket looks like because a lot of my friends all texted me, Kevin, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I'm just pressing buttons. And
That's
I go,
okay.
honestly, that's literally the best. And
Honestly, that's somehow the way that people win.
That is literally the way people win. But yeah, I think I have like one of my old coworkers who follows our podcasts on here as well. Can't forget our guy, West Virginia's favorite son, Leland Reed, in this group as well. So I'm excited. I'm excited. So yeah, that's what we got, and excited to see the belt in person whenever we get to see it, or merit
I'm
whenever.
hoping it comes soon. Like I said, it should be here within a week and a half. So we'll see.
Love
Once
it.
it is here, I will do an unveiling. I will send that unveiling to Kevin so that he can
Yes.
post it on the Instagram.
Yes.
So
I'll
there's
put it on
that.
the TikTok too.
Woo! Um, I filled out 5 brackets so far, technically.
So I have uh four. Two for
Okay.
men, two for women.
Oh, nice. I have one for women, so I technically have 6 because I joined like some of the stupid ESPN ones that you could potentially win money if you get perfect brackets and other things.
Yeah.
So, um, that's good. Who you got winning in the women's one? Because that's always fun. Because this
So the
got
women's
have some fun with that.
one, let me just make sure I have mine. Let me look at it. So my women's, do you want me to give them the final four or just my winner?
Final four and winner.
All right, final four. I have South Carolina, Stanford, Iowa, UConn. Final game is South Carolina versus UConn, with South Carolina winning.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yes, I
Okay.
think I think Paige is gonna put it on them.
Okay. I like it. I like it.
But in
Uh,
another one, I have actually Iowa winning.
oh.
Yeah, same final four, but I have Iowa winning
Oh
with
my
Caitlin Clark
gosh.
going out on top. What about you, sir?
I have South Carolina beating Iowa to win it all.
I love that.
I just think Don Staley and her team are just too good. They are too good
She's
across the board.
Dawn Staley's just an incredible coach. Period.
Yeah, that's true. Like she could definitely go coach a men's team and destroy it.
Oh yeah, cool. Now, teams you are looking out for. Mary, is there any team that you are kind of like keeping an eye out on uh, seeing possibly make some moves?
Um, hold on, I'm just texting a couple of people about the bracket so we can potentially get more.
Okay, just make sure that they follow the pod.
They do.
I
Um,
hope so.
so for me, I'm always interested in seeing my favorite team do well, which is UNC. I gotta pull up the tournament bracket right now because I don't have it in front of me, so I do
Mhm.
apologize.
Okay.
Um, I know there was a few teams. I actually want to see. Oh God, I can't remember the team name. I just pulled it up, so let me just open this. Give me a printable view. Much better. Zoom in. So I'm old and can't see anymore.
Well,
Um,
Merritt. Oh, go ahead, Merritt. You're
I
good.
found it, so we're good. I actually, because they won the ACC, I'm actually interested to see what NC State does. I have them
Yeah,
making a solid run. Which bracket are they in?
they are in
They're playing
the
so
South.
the South bracket. So I have them beating Texas Tech. I actually have them going past Kentucky because I know Kentucky did not have a overall decent year held to their expectations. Um, and then losing to I think Marquette or Florida. But I'm interested to see what they do. And then also my other wild card team that could just randomly go for a run, Grand Canyon, just for fun. They,
Okay.
I, those antelope out there, they crushed it. They're looking good. That's my mid-major pick this year. That they're going to shock some people and make it, out of that first weekend.
Okay. So for me, one of my upsets that might make it out of the first weekend, I put is James Madison at that 12-5 seed. I think they can definitely beat Wisconsin. And then I
Ooh.
think that they could I have them possibly upsetting Duke in that round of 32.
No, what's funny is my original bracket, I had Duke losing to UVM.
Oh, so they're in my fun one, I have a round 32 of James Madison versus the Vermont Catamounts, which I think is amazing.
That would be unreal.
Yeah. But another team that I'm kind of looking out for. Let's see if I will I go through this. I'm gonna go. Let's go. I'll do like a random one and one that I think can do something. I'm gonna go the 6-11 matchup in the Midwest. Oregon, Oregon. I think
Mhm.
that with the momentum they've got from winning the Pac-12, being the last ever Pac-12 champion, I think they can win. Uh, I think they can get that first game and give Creighton a fight. I do have Creighton going on to the Sweet 16 though, but
I
uh,
actually have Texas going to the national championship
do you really?
because I don't think Purdue's that good. I have them beating Purdue. I'm not sure. I think I have Purdue losing to either Kansas or TCU. I don't actually
Okay.
see them making it far. Like they've
Who?
Purdue.
I mean,
That they're
I
not that good.
I don't. I have Purdue losing to Kansas in the Sweet 16.
I don't
Um, But I'll be honest, so I have TCU winning that matchup against Utah State, and I honestly could see TCU beating that Purdue 1 seed.
I don't understand everyone's infatuation of Zach Edey. He's good, but he's slow. If you have a fast-paced team, he won't be able to keep up, and they're gonna run all over you.
Yeah, I
And their
know.
offense runs through Edey. So
Yeah, it's a struggle.
it's
Also, one team I want to keep an eye out for that I keep reading about that could make a run in the Midwest, McNeese State. I keep hearing about them,
hmm.
and in play, I don't, I don't know if I don't believe it. I still think Gonzaga's one of those teams that you just kind of don't bet against.
It's
But
also Mark Few
that's what I'm
and
saying.
and March Madness is just always
It's
a
a
safe bet.
good coaching, always a safe bet.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. It's gonna be fun. I'm very excited for it.
Yes.
Uh, player you have your eye out for.
Oh yes. For me, player that I'm looking out for. I've only been hearing about him recently, but hold on, I'll get you where he is. Scrolling. I just passed it. Hold on. So my apologies, people. Oh wait, hold on. Where'd it go? The Hold on, I'm like freaking out because I literally just looked at it. No, I can't find it. But we're gonna go with Nebraska. I know they're playing in this tournament.
Oh,
No?
the Asian guy in Nebraska.
Yeah, man, my man Japanese Steph Curry. What's his name? Casey Tominaga. Did they not make the field, or am I freaking out? Yes, they did. They're
Yeah,
8-9 seed in the South.
yeah, I was gonna say
But
they didn't
yeah,
make it.
Yeah, I want to see what he can do. He played hella good through the most of the Big Ten tourney. Just couldn't stop Illinois, but I think he's awesome. The fact we got a Japanese guy playing in Nebraska, I still think is absolutely incredible. But that's the player I'm looking out for. Maybe he can uh, bring his name out there a little bit more. What about you?
Mine's gonna be someone down in Arizona who played for UNC who changed his projection for the NBA draft because of this season. Caleb Love.
Yeah, Caleb Love,
He
solid.
phenomenal player at UNC for 3 years. I do think that they miss him on that team, but they've found other individuals that could step up and play his minutes. But he has done phenomenal in the big, for Arizona, won Pac-12 Player of the Year. Um,
Hmm.
so Caleb Love is going to be somebody that we should pay attention to in this tournament. And let's see how far Arizona can make it. They are a 2 seed, and it'd be great to watch a 1 versus 2 come out of that West because it'd be North Carolina versus Arizona.
Oh yeah.
Like it would be unreal to see what they can do.
Oh yeah. Next question we got up here. So Cinderella team. I think I kind of mentioned mine. I'm going JMU to make a run. Another team that I have advancing that most people haven't been looking at is I'm going with what's it called? Where did I keep oh, the Lobos of New Mexico. I think they can get a
Ooh.
game in. I'm gonna see. I have them winning against Clemson.
All right, we have 19 now.
Ooh.
My boy Chris Alico's making one.
Oh, as in like Chris from the edited podcast.
Yes, the beep
The first
podcast. Yeah,
ever the
that
first
one.
ever bleep.
Yeah, he is joining, so we'll have 19. Um,
Love it.
my Cinderella team, I'm gonna stick with, who I said in the beginning, and
Mhm.
I'm gonna go with Grand Canyon. You know,
Grand Canyon.
I don't know why. I there was a story about one of their players who I read, and I'm like, okay, I'm behind this story. I'm behind this team. They killed it in their tournament. I never believe in St. Mary's anyway because they're the little baby brother to the Gonzaga. Um, and now that's it. And then Alabama, great. You've had a couple good years. We'll see how you do, but we'll go from there. But yeah, that's my Cinderella team. I think it'll be fun.
We always get them every year, so
Oh, you have to.
we'll see what happens.
All right.
Ah, Final Four selections. Barrett,
Woo!
what do you got?
All
Now,
right.
are you gonna use the one that's in our bracket challenge?
Yes, so this is the one in my bracket challenge
Okay,
for
go ahead.
everybody. Y'all
Yes.
can listen to it. It might change. There's still time for me to go back and second guess every decision I've made.
Yep. Gotta love it.
But I have UConn versus UNC. I then have the state of Texas going against each other. We have University of Texas versus Houston.
Wow.
Yes. And I've already
Very,
mentioned it. I have North Carolina versus Texas in the
very interesting.
tournament final. So I got some blue bloods and I got
You
some
really,
Southern
your
twang going on there.
your team is very big on blue bloods.
I love the blue bloods. I think they're always good. But I'm also a huge UNC fan, so I never bet against them.
Okay. All right. So Kevin's Final Four. You already know he's going for his Yukon Huskies.
Yep.
He is going to have them face Merritt's UNC Tar Heels. That's one matchup. We then going down to the Bluegrass State in another favorite team of mine, the Kentucky Wildcats. Going up,
You want to talk about blue bloods?
yeah, going up against the Rocky Top, taking away a blue blood of Tennessee. With my final game, UConn versus Kentucky, with UConn winning back to back for the first time in a long time.
Wow.
Yeah.
So we have half the final four. We both have the same.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. That Midwest is a tricky bracket because I think like you, I predict Purdue will be the first number one gone.
Yeah.
I think whether it be by the number 9 TCU seed or I have them getting lost to the Kansas Jayhawks. Um, and I just think that right now I've seen Tennessee play. I think they have a shot. I think they got a shot. And then of course I have uh Kentucky versus Tennessee, SEC battle, and then UConn versus UNC. So no crazy wild card picked out of nowhere. I just went with the gut. So that's what we got.
All right, man. I can respect that shit for sure. Um, but like, wow. Look, I love it. I love it. This is always fun. This is going to be, for the next month, guys, we're going to be talking about this. So, except for
Yes.
probably next week because they're going to talk wrestling.
Well, hold on. We'll make sure we touch on the bracket challenge because all we have four of the guys in the bracket challenge that are gonna be
Oh
on
my, you're,
here.
you're gonna have to you're gonna have to keep that very, very tamed.
Yes, I know because Cyrus will go on a tirade for like a half hour, and we got to dedicate it to Mania. But
Especially if Duke loses.
ooh, yes, that's a very good point.
Or he might not say anything and could just cry.
Cyrus may not even show up on screen, but I hope he doesn't. Because we love Cyrus out here.
I hope you do too, Cyrus. We all love you, bro.
Yes.
All right. So, did we miss anything, Kevin? I would ask Andrew, but he's not here.
Yes, of course, Andrew, not here. We miss you, Andrew. But let's see. What do I have? Oh, we're gonna go ahead and give you the filibuster's question of the week. So myself and Joss, we asked, what are your favorite moments or favorite moment from March Madness?
Ooh.
I
I think my
gave two in mind, so you can give two.
I think my favorite was my freshman year of college watching UNC win the tournament and
Okay.
then watching UMBC a couple years ago knocking off the first ever number one seed, losing
Oh.
beating that whole thing. I think that was those two were big to me. So what were yours?
So one of mine was watching 2004 UConn men and women's basketball team won the national title, first time ever. So that's your Diana Taurasi women's team and that Ben Gordon and Mecca Okafor UConn team. So that was big for me. And then, you know, I'm surprised you didn't list this. You know, it's probably up there, but you listed only your top two. But I, of course, put West Virginia going to the Final Four when we were sophomores in college. That was a plus for me. But if I'm going to take away West Virginia, I think a very big highlight that I thoroughly enjoyed was the birth of Dunk City from Florida Gulf Coast. I loved watching them play. They were so much fun to watch. I wish they won it all that year, but you know, that was just a great, great story for March Madness.
Love it. I love it. All right, we're getting more people. I'm adding more people to this shit. Let's go.
Look at you. Well, I added a bunch myself, so I'm glad you're getting more. Yep, it's growing. We got 19. I wonder how big we can get it to.
I don't think we have any restrictions. I think we can get as big as we want. Um,
Yes.
my friend Kaylee Murphy is going to be filling one out.
Well, yeah, Kaylee Murphy, first
Yeah.
one of our first ever guests,
So I'll send that over to her. I
aka
sent it to
like,
her.
I gotta send it to Ronald. I gotta get Ronald in this.
I'm disappointed in you now.
Well, Ronald is a busy guy, so I don't know if he'll
I
have
know.
time.
Well, just tell him he has to do it. It takes like 5 minutes.
It literally does take 5 minutes unless you can't remember your ESPN password, which I know does. It has been a little bit of a struggle for people.
I know. I've done that a few times. Well, perfect. Kevin, I think we should wrap this up.
It is time. All
All
right.
right.
So outro time, guys. Episode. Hold on. Let me just make sure I scroll to the top. Episode 15 of season 3. We are just trucking along this season. And of course, you can make sure you guys watch us on the YouTube at the Mainly Musings Podcast. Feel free to listen to us at all streaming platforms. We're on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Play, Amazon Play. Make sure you follow us on Instagram. You can follow Merit at Merit_P. Follow me at KQuava624. Make sure you follow the podcast Instagram at the Manly Musings Pod. Also, of course, make sure you go ahead and follow the Manly Musings podcast TikTok at the Manly Musings Pod, in which you'll get highlights from We Out Here's, you'll get episode recaps, you'll also, of course, get the Filibucksters, the home of your Filipino Star Bucksters with my buddy Josh and Jay. And we'll see if we can get any more guests on that as well with your question of the days. And yeah, it's always great to see everybody out here. Great to see Merritt rocking out in his awesome USA jersey. Andrew, I can't wait for my jersey to come or whatever you got me. I don't know what you got me because I haven't seen it yet. But it's 8:30 p.m. We're gonna end this podcast. And if you do hear this, hopefully you joined our bracket challenge because it's gonna be a lot of fun. And I really hope that I can take home the belt. So have a great night, y'all. Peace.
Peace.